Hello, hello. Yeah, mic's working. We're all good. All right, first stream of the 2023 season. Hopefully everyone can hear me all right. It's just me today. Yeah, you'll have to get used to just looking at me. This might become a regular thing. Ian might still drop in at times, and we might have some other people on as well. But anyway, hello. Happy Thursday. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to try out the new F1 Clash 2023 season. I see there's already some feedback in the chat in regards to how you're finding it. Glad to see some people are enjoying it so far. It's quite a considerable change since last season, or from last season. So yeah, can understand there's a bit of what time taken to understand the new strategies, the new mechanics. It's quite a bit different. You can hear me? Cool, glad to hear it. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Have you tried it? Check your comments in the chat and let me know. We'll be talking about a couple things today, and there's a couple notices that you'll want to hear about. So I'm especially enjoying the new season. I've been playing it quite a bit, and I'm actually pretty happy with the changes. There's a lot more strategy involved in the races now. Haven't won them all, but I am noticing that opponents, are starting to develop these strategies as well. So I'm starting to lose a bit more, which is good. Glad everyone's sort of understanding the new mechanics with the power unit, how boosts affect things, how stats are now applied, which there's quite a substantial change from last season. Just take a look at chat in a moment, see what we've got. Can you see the boost from the opponent? So yes, I was going to just say this a little bit later. So we removed originally the boosts that you can see on the opponents because it was cluttering up the UI a little bit. So we removed that, but it's coming back. It's coming back. We're working on bringing that back as soon as possible. So yes, you will be seeing it again. So yeah, happy to bring that one back. Why such a reduction with rare and epic items in crates? The balance this season is completely different to last season. Commons and rares are a lot more capable compared to epics than what they were last season. If you took any sort of part in the last season, you would have noticed that epic drivers, for example, were just the bee's knees. You had an epic driver, you were pretty much good. But that made things completely unbalanced. So, we're making the commons and rares more competitive, and epics are epic. Epics are epic. They're meant to be epic, so yeah, you might see the drop rates a little bit reduced. They're a little bit more expensive. The people who earn epic cards will definitely notice the difference, and especially at the higher series as well. But you'll be glad once you have managed to achieve them. So anyway, going back to where we were talking about boost changes. If you took part in the first day, you would have noticed the boosts were a little OP. That was our bad. As great as it is to double lap your opponents, it's not really very competitive or fair to opponents that don't have boosts. So you would have noticed that winning was very, very easy at the beginning. If you applied boosts, we quickly realized that how the boosts were being applied was wrong, and a hotfix has gone out. You would now notice that boosts are acting as they're intended to. On top of that, boosts now apply considerably differently to what they did last season, and that's why you might notice that boosts don't seem to be reacting the same as what they were last season. A little, says Andrew. Yeah, a little. Yeah, self-control. A few of you have noticed the difference there. So in previous seasons, the boosts were applying based on a percentage change, and they were applying to different mechanics in the game, how the game works. This is how the boosts used to apply. This season, boosts apply directly to stats. You'll notice, it could be cornering, it could be speed, or whatever. Boosts apply direct values to those stats, so you ultimately just get a stat boost. and that applies differently. Not only that, but how the stats actually work in this season is substantially different to what they did last season. So that's why you might be noticing that boosts are reacting a little bit different than what you were used to. Yeah, there's a lot of numbers and there's a lot of differences in the background to try and make this work well together. But I think this is hopefully back in place a little bit better than it was. It was silly funny, but not fun. I mean, it was a bit of fun for the first day or two, overtaking everyone and just steamrolling through the whole track. But yeah, it's definitely not fair for those who don't have boosts, and it's not very realistic as well. So thankfully, everything's back to how it should be. What does the value on boosts mean for pit time? The way pit time works is a little bit different to the stat boosts. The stat boosts obviously increase the relative stat by whatever value is on the boost. In regards to pit time, for every point of pit time boost, I want to say, it's a point value in the boost. For every point, it reduces your pit time by 0.02. And that just adds up for the added points of pit time boost that you get there. Yeah, so 0.02 for every point in the boost. That's boosts. So yeah, they are a little bit different to last season. And hopefully everyone will get used to it. Like I say, the previous, or this season is considerably different to last season. So yes, things are going to be different, and it might take a little bit of time to adjust. We've also got the power unit as well, which is a whole new mechanic. And I've already seen some feedback and people saying that, the power unit is quite a strategic tool when it comes to racing opponents. So hopefully you're enjoying that. And yeah, I quite like it myself. It gives me more opportunity than what I used to have to dominate. Thank you for the poll in there as well. Why do the cars slow to a crawl at the first few corners? So we have identified a problem with first corners for a few tracks. As you've noticed, they bunch up a bit on the first corner. We're aware of this, and we actually have a hotfix coming that will address both that. Should address pretty much that for all of the corners, we're hoping, as well as a couple other issues that have cropped up with the new update. So yeah, we are aware of a couple bugs and a couple sort of issues in regards to the new season, and we're doing a hotfix that should hopefully handle many of those ASAP. Keep an eye out for more details on that, on when that should be coming out. We're hoping to get that out as soon as possible. Where to next? Boost changes, new season, opponent boosts are coming back, asset trading. So a common question that I've seen is asset trading. As you've noticed for the new season, the coin prices are considerably different to what they were last season. How many times have I said season now? Is anyone counting? The coin economy has been completely revamped, so you don't need millions of coins now to enter, GPs or later series jewels. Coins have been revamped, and you'll notice that in the prices of things as well as how much you're earning. Asset trading, as this is a common question that's coming up. Asset trading is currently 1 million coins for an asset trade. But let me just note, before you panic, let me just note, we don't expect many players to achieve asset trading very quickly. And so asset trading, not training, asset trading. And so gives us a window to monitor players' usage of coins, how much coins you're earning, and all this sort of stuff. So we'll be monitoring that, and we'll be looking at whether we need to make any changes to asset trading prices or any other prices for that matter. Because this is a considerably different coin economy from last season, we need to see how things go and make changes if they need to. Cars bunching and stopping, we'll be addressing that, yeah. We'll be addressing that. 18 times in the last minute. Thank you for counting, Andrew. So yeah, that's asset trading, and yeah, we're aware of a few bugs. We've got cars bunching, we've got cars that sort of slow down a little bit randomly, we've got pit lanes. You notice there's some strange behavior in regards to a couple pit lanes there on specific tracks. Yeah, we've got a number of them, and we're going to try and squeeze in as many fixes to this hotfix coming up as we possibly can. 1 million needs to be retweaked. Like I say, we'll be reviewing this based on the coin economy with players soon, but as many players aren't going to achieve asset trading for a while, we've got a little bit of time to review that. Just checking out chat, see what we've got coming up. On top of the coin economy side of things, so I'm trying to sneak into the show. On top of the coin economy side of things, when you're comparing to things like asset trading and the price of that, previous seasons, jewels, braces, and GPs were the main way of earning large amounts of coins. You'll find over time that there are other fruitful ways of earning coins as well. I'm going to leave that a little bit vague because it's, leaving it for players to discover, but it's not so much a jewel grind to get coins as it is many other things as well. So yeah, I noticed a lot of the feedback was about X amount of races needed to earn X amount of coins for certain things. Races aren't the only way to earn coins moving forward, so that's just something to think about as well. Where are we going? There was a hotfix today. Don't know if you noticed. It is available in some app stores. This is just for first-time players, so for many of you it won't be impactful. But am I saying season enough? Not enough for this stream, apparently. Thank you for the poll on that one as well. Will race crates come back? We're not currently planning on bringing race crates back as they were, Evil Genius. But we're always looking at ways of, trying to bring new features into the game or reward systems and stuff like this. We do have sprint races, which is kind of brought back some of the race crate mechanism in a way, as some people have referenced it. So yeah, but race crates, at the moment, we don't see them coming back in their original interpretation. Sorry, checking chat. You bought some bucks. Sorry, you bought Nick DeVries, but it didn't appear in your inventory. Contact support. If you have any purchase issues, contact support. They will be able to help you out. They'll be able to track that down and fix it for you. If you don't know how to contact support, question mark icon in the top left, speech bubble in the top right. Open a chat window, contact them, they'll sort you out. Are GPs always going to have boosted drivers? It's difficult to say at the moment. So I noticed this as a common feedback, especially from last season, that there's calls for changes to it, and I have fed this back to the team, and I've even offered some ideas for the team of how to introduce some variety in regards to the GP events, and they're considering it. I can't say the entire season is going to be the same, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Why don't we have the Monaco track? There are reasons for that. There are reasons for why we don't have the Monaco track. Details which I can't go into. But, if we are able to bring the Monaco track back, we will do so ASAP. Because it is a very, it's a very famous track in regards to F1. Pretty much anyone who thinks F1, they think the Monaco track. So yeah, as soon as we get the opportunity to bring it back, we will do so. You love the new season. You wish we can make the season score available for the entire season. I've actually had a few people saying this recently, and it's something I'll feed back to the team. Yeah, I'll feed that back to the team, see what we can do. Obviously, there's some considerations in regards to UI, like where we're going to place it that doesn't, flood everything. You don't want buttons all over the place, all over the screen. But yeah, I'll happy to feed that back. On that note, the roadmap. I know there's been a couple of requests about the roadmap. Originally, we wanted to do this every 2 months, and we still want to do that every 2 months. Just the season change was kind of like smack in the middle when the roadmap was due. And because everyone's just so busy, I decided, we'll move it to June. So next roadmap update should come out in June, just FYI. Not spent your CC points yet? By all means, there's different strategies. I noticed there's a lot of talk in the Discord about, whether you spend them now, whether you save them till later. Yeah, it's, up to you to discover, really. Okay, good question that I've noticed. Why is Epic Albin equal stats to Common Albin? This season, like I say, the season is completely different to previous seasons. Epic is not necessarily the best when it comes to stats anyway. So it's worth keeping a close eye on the stats, both starting stats and max stats of drivers there, and determining which one is best. So this is part of the balance, like I say, last season, epics were everything. Epics may not necessarily be everything for a long time in the season. You might find commons or rares are just as competitive with epics for a substantial amount of the season here. Remember, the season is meant to stretch all year. You don't have to max everything out at the start of the year. It stretches out all year, and there'll be all sorts of opportunities to get these assets and upgrades. There's no need to rush. I say, of course, if you want to rush, by all means. By all means. GP grouping changes. Common question. No changes as yet. I know the feedback. Everyone wants GP groupings to be updated. Currently, there's no changes to GP groupings. There's also no changes to matchmaking right now as well. Something we are commonly looking at. It's a very, very tricky aspect to change. It takes a lot of careful thought because the wrong change can throw things completely out of whack. Give us some podium graphics. Happy to pass that on. Happy to pass that on. Would be kind of neat having a little podium animation, wouldn't it? Anything else to screenshot and show that you were P1, right? Anyway, yeah. Next roadmap, June. What else we got going around? I do have, well, as you've probably seen if you're a member of the Discord. I think we should be fine over here. Yeah. Next event, or first event of the season. Hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly. Emilia Romagna. 17th of May, so that's Wednesday next week. The first GP. I've already shared the costs to enter the different tiers in the Discord. I'm gonna try and remember these off the top of my head. 1,000, 4,000, 20,000, and 100,000. I think it was for all four tiers in the GP events. I think that's right. I'll have to relook up where I put these details in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, by all means, jump in there. A lot of information shared in there, not just by myself on behalf of the team, but a lot of very knowledgeable players in there as well. Power unit runs out way too quick. Power unit stat. Your power unit stat determines how much charge your power unit will hold. But it's not meant to be on all the time. It's a very strategic tool. Using it in the right place at the right time. is very important. Be mindful of the stats that your drivers have. because the power unit is a boost. Right? It's not just speed, but it's a boost to stats. So if your drivers are strong in a certain area, I won't say where, I'll let you work that out, but if they're strong in a certain area, the power unit helps there too. Just a little potential tip for you. You like the power unit this season is strong? Glad to hear. Glad to hear. So we've got Emilia Romagna, and after that we've got the classic Monaco GP, of course. Unfortunately, without the Monaco track. We'll bring that in. The second we're told that we can use the Monaco track, it'll be in there. So that's May the 24th, and the following GP after that, I don't have the graphics for it yet, is the Spanish GP. Shouldn't be any surprise for anyone if anyone's following anyone's following F1. That should be pretty standard, but yeah, there's further details in the Discord as well in regards to what tracks you might find, what the event boosts are, as well as what boosted assets there are. I'll try and bring these into the streams as well for when we do them. But yeah, that's what's on the cards for now. Hope that you can't see any of that yet. Yeah. What's the difference in percentage to the drivers and components this season? Difference in percentage. They are meant to be very balanced. King, that was ultimately the intention. As you might have seen in the last season, drivers were pretty much the dominating force in regards to any assets. You had epic drivers and you didn't really have to upgrade your components. Teams worked very hard to try and balance that out. So you might be able to compensate weaker drivers with a strong set of components, and you might be able to compensate weaker components with stronger drivers. Obviously, strong drivers, strong components is the best as possible. Since all parts are much more viable this season, team score isn't such a big factor compared to last season. Comes down to the balance between all assets, really. The team score should now more represent your competitiveness, is probably the best way to describe it, right? Car and driver matter this season based on what you've seen. Using low parts and good drivers does not work at all. Nope, that's it was a problem we wanted to change. It was definitely unbalanced last season. And hopefully we've done a good job. Or not me, I wasn't involved. Hopefully the team's done a good job of balancing that out. But so far, feedback from everyone seems to be that it is very balanced, which, great. Glad to hear it. It's probably about it for me at the moment. It's a pretty quick stream today. There's not a lot on the cards because it's the new season. It's the week of, the new season, so everyone's getting used to the changes. I'm pretty much in the Discord all the time. I'm looking at socials as well for all the different pieces of feedback, trying to answer as many questions as possible, and the team's very busy trying to get this hotfix out that will hopefully deal with a few of the problems that have come out with the season. So yeah, keep an eye out for a post in regards to that. We have some more announcements coming soon, and the next stream, let me double check, I believe will be the 8th of June. There's going to be a little bit of a gap there. Normally we would have had this on the 25th, but unfortunately we won't be able to have a stream then. So the 8th of June is what we're going to stick to. But if that has to change, keep an eye out for any messaging from us. We will let you know. But at the moment, save the space or save this time. 8th of June, 4 p.m. BST, as usual. Is Monaco coming back? As I said earlier, you might have missed it. As soon as we can bring Monaco back into F1 Clash, we will be doing so. Don't worry. But yeah, thank you very much for stopping by. Hopefully we've covered any sort of questions you might have had. But like I said, very early in the season, we're day 3 technically. We're all still getting used to the game. But yeah, throw feedback my way. Jump to the Discord. There's a game suggestions channel if you can think of any changes. or any updates or any suggestions, like I say, that you might think would work in F1 Clash, or yeah, otherwise jump in there for strategies, tips from some of the people in chat, are some of our content creators who are providing great strategies. One last piece of feedback: the coin economy is very balanced this year, apart from trading. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one, don't worry. And it's not unrealistic like last year, and gives free-to-play players a fighting chance. Yes. Yes, I'm very happy about that one. Anyway, quick stream from me. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and like I say, keep in touch on socials, keep in touch on Discord. Link for the Discord is there if you're not a member. And yeah, hopefully you have a good one. We'll see you 8th of June, if not before. Bye-bye.